laws on Division between Dearborn and Dade. Police have asked us to come into the bar to avoid people jumping in the road. So we're here with Jeff. He's very excited.
Two goals in 17 seconds to win the cup. Doesn't get any better than that. Go Hawks!
The party is just beginning. I don't know how more people are coming here to Division Street. It's a long night of celebration.
Yeah, baby!
It's still relatively early when you think about it. It's only
11:34.
It's not like it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Nothing good happens after midnight, though, so they need
You got 30 more minutes.
25 minutes.
Can you spell hangover?
On a Monday night. Yeah, calling in sick tomorrow on Tuesday. We're going to go back to Phil Rogers on the north side to get his vantage point again. Can we do that and ask him a couple of questions?
There we go. People still exiting north. And
hi, guys. We are here.
Okay,
we are here. Can you...
Yeah,
yes,
Phil, we hear you.
I'm sorry, we had a little bit of a problem here that somebody decided to set fire to something behind the building here. It's not a big deal. It was generating a lot of smoke. But right now, again, essentially, the biggest issue
let's
right
burn
now
something. Blackhawks win.
The people
Let's
that
burn
want
something.
to leave
Yeah.
are having to find a way out of the crowd, and the best way for them to leave is to head north.
Wow, look at that.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of them aren't necessarily wanting to go north because that's not the way they can get out of here and find their way home. But we've seen about 5 or 6 arrestees being led out of here. Again, the police command post is right at the corner of Clark and Addison, as you've seen from the pictures. That's where the squad rolls are waiting. That's where they are putting people inside. Usually those people are heavily intoxicated, as we've seen. The ones are,
you think?
Case,
No.
they're being led by 2 police officers.
Seriously?
On one hand, to keep them from running away, and on the other hand, to help them to keep walking, because in some cases, some of these individuals don't look like they could walk without assistance. But again, just as Mike described, the key here is once they secure an area of the street, they are trying to keep it secured, slowly, slowly, slowly working their way south. As one of my colleagues pointed out just a minute ago, this is exactly the same procedure they use in New Orleans at Mardi Gras to clear the streets on Bourbon Street. Now they're using it here in Chicago after still another Blackhawk victory.
Another.
Right, Phil Rogers.
Right.
On the north side. Let's go back up to Mike Lorber. Mike, we haven't gotten any estimate on the crowds tonight from the police. I know that's very difficult to do. Do you have any idea how many people were there, say, 45 minutes ago, and whether it's a lot less now or about the same? If you can give us some guesstimates on that.
I'd give a guesstimate, and again, we're speculating here, of about maybe 10,000 when everything got to its peak maybe an hour after the game. Like I said, that triangle of Clark and Addison and Sheffield was filled up. I want to concentrate now, Steve, can you zoom into that SUV there that just drove through the crowd? This was a little bit of a precarious situation. It's driving through the crowd north on Clark Street. It was rocking back and forth. I've been doing this for a while, and I go all the way back to Division Street when the Bulls won, and that unfortunate taxi cab that got turned over, and that was a little more rowdy than this is right now. The police here, they seem to be under control. Perhaps this is a police vehicle. Obviously, it's hard for us to tell. Crowds dispersing from that 10,000 estimate before. I'd say about half of them are left. Maybe this has a little celebration on the top of this SUV vehicle, but somehow it was able to make it through the masses heading north on Clark Street as it makes its way towards Addison.
And there are people on top of that SUV right now?
Yeah, it looks like they're having their own parade, and it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. Then it's not so good.
How close
yeah, they're starting the parade early there. He's standing out of the sunroof, getting the high fives. He's got the Blackhawks jersey, and we're getting in as tight as we can here, and you can see they're just on top of there. The crowd's letting them go through. The police kind of making sure, standing by, making sure everything is under control. And luckily, that crowd did not get rocked over, because I'll tell you about 2 minutes ago, it looked a little scary. It looks like they're jumping off, and the police are moving in to try to get this vehicle out of the way on Clark Street.
Now, Mike, can you tell us where these cars are coming from? Because it looks like there's more vehicles heading north on that street. Do you see the cars there?
Yeah, a few of the north-south streets that come in, the closures are in effect. They have Clark Street shut down from Waveland on the north all the way down to where Sheffield comes in. Addison is closed, and Sheffield itself is closed. But you can see coming from the north there, the crowds there are a lot of back alleys here, and where people behind Sluggers and John Barleycorn and the other places where the people can come out, and they can come out of the alley and get into the street. And that must have been what happened. Keep in mind, a lot of those barricades that were there to keep the streets closed, they've been moved out by the crowd also. So that's probably where these cars are coming from.
How many people have left, would you say, in the last 30 minutes? I mean, what percentage of the crowd compared to when it was at its maximum size?
None.
I'd say about 60%,
None.
60 to 70% right now.
Yeah, right.
The police, again, moving everybody southbound off of Addison. They've been out there with the loudspeakers trying to get everybody out of there. Addison itself is cleared off pretty well, and Sheffield, which was filled at one point. So about 60% left, but again, if we're estimating 10,000 people, that leaves about 4,000 people out in a very narrow stretch of Clark Street, about a 3-block stretch from about 3,500 on the north down to about where Sheffield intersects by the train tracks there, the train overpass. So they're still working it. A lot of work to do for Chicago police tonight.
And Mike, from your vantage point, have you seen anyone in this crowd that's been hurt or anyone that's had to be taken to the ambulances that are standing by north of this staging area here?
I've seen a few of those people. I've heard a few of those people. I heard some bottles thrown, as Phil had mentioned earlier on, and they needed to get the ambulances in there. Again, it's so wise what they're doing. They're staging them north of the crowd so they can get the injured quickly out of the crowd to the north. I've seen a few people, but they've been walking wounded and maybe a little dazed, but we have not heard of any serious injuries. Not only here, I've been trying to scan the city as a whole, and like I said, this isn't the only crowd area. They are on Lincoln. They're on the southwest side at Archer and Narragansett, on Western Avenue in the south side. Overall, no reports of any major injuries, but all that information will come in full later on.
Does Chicago police have a helicopter up there with you as well?
They've been coming back and forth. Yeah, they're kind of directing, and now they're moving in pretty aggressively. They've been directing back and forth and fueling. Now you can see we've got about 3 of the mounted police officers that are moving in, and a little more aggressively. They're trying to clear the street here. As we've been telling you, about 15 of them across, moving southbound. They're trying to get people back onto the sidewalks. The other thing of note,